Okay, so look, I'm actually really excited about a few things right here. I just kind of came up with a few ideas. What's up, everybody? Welcome back or welcome to Brickanics. My name is Andy, and if you're new here, this series follows my journey building a large custom LEGO creation based on Battlefront 2 featuring the Inferno squad, and I am so excited to show you guys what I've added into the build. This week, we have an Ewok Hideout, and I think it looks really cool. So let's get into it. A little bit of backstory for those of you that haven't seen some of the earlier videos. My intentions in this area right here were to build like a big mountainous rocky cliff face, and I bordered it using these bricks right here. Well, what I've decided recently is that I want to gain more real estate for redwood trees. So I decided that I'm actually going to cut this in back here, and instead of having the waterfall right here, which I had originally planned, I'm gonna have the waterfall back here. So we're still going to do that, but I have a different idea, which has actually been a suggestion by you guys in the comments for an area right in here. Instead of having a big mountainous cliff face, I wanted to mix in some hill and grassy area with the rocks and the rock face as well. And one of the biggest challenges I've had in this area right here is the technique that I've used here, which is basically building up on plates and then using a snot technique to place them. Is how do I cut this entire side inwards? Well, no longer is that an issue, because you guys, several of you, have suggested that I include some Ewok Caves. So I'm looking at this area right here, and what I'm thinking is this is a prime area to build an Ewok Cave right in here, and then this top part can easily wrap around kind of as the top of the cave, and that's going to make the transition here a lot easier cutting in with the build right there. So that, I think, is an excellent solution, and that's what we're going to work on right now. All right, so the first consideration was to think of how large this cave would be and what pieces I would use to create the curvature and the details for the entrance of the cave. Since the cave isn't a main attraction to the build, I wanted to be sure it was recognizable as a cave, but also semi-hidden and tucked into the hillside. In the process, I'm also thinking about other things, such as, how will this cave transition to the rest of the build? As we need to build on top of the cave, we also need to extend rock work for the waterfall, and we need to descend the hill down to the river. So this was an exciting week of building as we made a ton of progress, but as you'll see, it might not necessarily feel that way, as we generally stayed within the same, 1 square foot of Lego here within the build. Also, just to let you know that I mistakenly deleted some footage. So what you've seen built up to this point and what you're seeing in this time lapse really took me about 3 days worth of building, but I'm excited to show you the result, and I think you're really gonna like this Ewok Hideout at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around and watch to the end. All right, perfect timing today because it's my last day to build for this update, and I was curious to know what my next step would be in progress, whether I was going to come over here or, could I work down here? I actually needed some pieces which came today so we can continue working on this area, which I'm really kind of excited to do because I want to work towards that waterfall, and I want to also build up another redwood tree. Plus, I think it's going to look better for the thumbnail if I get a little bit more progress done here. So let me show you what I was waiting for. Oh no, this has never happened to me before. I have never been sent the wrong piece. Luckily, this isn't the piece I was waiting for, which is, critical to this video. But man, I ordered part 3741, which is the grass piece with the open bottom. And these are like the grass pieces with the, I don't know, the little bottom that you can plug into open studs. So I got to contact the seller about that. Pretty disappointing, but let's take a look here. Also, can I say that I hate when sellers don't separate their pieces when they ship them to you and just leave all the sorting up to you. But on the positive side of things, I got 40 of these 2x2 reddish brown tiles at 8 cents a piece. They're used, but they're in pretty decent condition. And actually, when it comes to, dirt, I don't think it's bad to have a little bit of imperfect kind of finish on them. But the part that we were excited about is right here, the 1x2 translucent dark blue. And the reason why we're excited about that is because I can continue the water this way towards the waterfall, which means that we can build up some of the landscape in here, also in the front here. So let's go ahead and do that. So one of the more important things that I wanted to do was to build the foundation for what will be the back cliff face where the waterfall is actually going to run off of and down to the river. So getting that installed was really important. And then it's just a matter of building up the rest of the landscape and then, building up the hill that leads up to the cave entrance. And man, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday building to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't seem like a lot was done. I mean, at least to me, when you look at it, it just looks like a big pile of Lego. But trust me, there's a lot of bricks there, and there was a lot of time and effort that went into pulling this bit of progress this week together. Man, guys, wow, what a episode. I'm telling you, this was very draining mentally, just figuring out how to pull and tie all this together between the different colors, the different slopes, trying to meet, the different angles of this mountain, try to future-proof things so we can think of how this is going to extend this way for the waterfall. It's an interesting ride, but man, I think that is looking so good. It just looks so good. I mean, that's just a big pile of plastic, and I think it looks really, really good. And, once we kind of get this built up over here with the waterfall coming down, I really can't wait to see what that looks like. So what I think we're going to do right now is I'm just going to add some details in here just to help tie this all together a little bit. I think we need some Ewoks in here as well as some additional details. So let's go ahead and knock that out. So the foliage really helps sell this Ewok hideout even more. It looks even more tucked away into this cliff face, which is looking really, really cool. And you know, back there we have some bones being held together with some dark brown droid arms. We've got a stormtrooper helmet on a pole. In the very, very back, it's black bricks just to sell that the cave goes in deeper. And there's some other wall details and things I put inside there overall. And then just adding the foliage out here on the rockwork, I think definitely ties it all in, you know, ties it all together even better. And it's really just to look like there's some mudslides down here and that it's not just all rock, but it's kind of a hill area that's a mix between grass, dirt, and rocks. And then up here, we've got it leveled off. We're going to go one more layer up with rockwork as well. And then over here, we're set up pretty nicely for the waterfall to land right here. So that'll be interesting to see how that all comes together. I've left myself a little bit of space so I can try and work in some snot technique here with the rockwork. We want it to be about this high coming across. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to say the least. So if you're not subscribed and you want to see how that turns out, little plug here for the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So I think we've made some really good progress on the build. That area was a bit of a concern for me. I was a little hesitant to jump into it. It's a lot of bricks going into that part of the build. Probably the most bricks are going into the rockwork in that area. So it's a lot of time, and I just wasn't exactly sure how I was going to pull it all together. So that cave or Ewok hideout was a great suggestion by you guys. That really helped me out a lot in making that transition there. And I think it's a really cool addition to the build. So thanks again for the suggestion. I read and respond to every comment, so please make sure you guys always leave me your thoughts in the comments. I really do enjoy reading the comments. It's one of my favorite things about making these videos is reading your comments. So I really appreciate when you do leave those. So as you can see, guys, I'm really focused on building this MOC and getting it finished because I'm excited to see the end. We've been building this for 5 months now already, so I'm just really focused and determined to build it. I'm excited to see what the end result is going to be. So if you're as excited as me and you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys want other people to find the build, make sure to hit the like button. I certainly would appreciate it. And with that, thank you guys for all your support as always, and I'll see you in the next build. Have a good one.